Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike. It's Monday. It's been a hell of a day here, the 7th of April. This is our daily recap. Let's talk about this because there's a lot to digest today. So we gapped down big last night. Okay. Europe's down, Asia was down, China was down huge. We came off the lows and going into the open, and then we opened up and we came back down, but did not retest the lows from the overnight session. And then we had a nice move up here. You started to get chatter. And what do I mean by chatter? I mean that the plunge protection team, i.e., the White House cabinet members, were out talking and trying to diffuse things and trying to change what they were saying and trying to soften things. Nothing wrong with this, just putting it out. And then we got this report that turned out to be fake that Hassett has said that Trump is going to delay tariffs for 90 days. You had this huge, big 5-minute candle with a little bit of follow through. Turned out to be fake news, quickly denied, and the market came down. Now, the questions being asked here is this: is this completely fake news, or was this floated out there on purpose to see the market's reaction? I think part of it was floated out there on purpose to see the market's reaction. I think it had been talked about at some point. But bottom line is the market sat there, digested, and it decided to push up. In the middle of this, we had President Trump speaking again, and he said, uh, basically came out and said, I warned anybody not to do more tariffs on top of us, and China has till Wednesday to withdraw their tariffs, or I will put an additional 50% on. So now we're in the firing. We're in the front of the firing squad until tomorrow, because China's probably going to respond tomorrow, and how they respond is going to really set the tone here. Europe's going to respond on Wednesday, we're hearing. So the next 2 days, just keep in mind, we're sitting there like ducks sitting there watching people shoot at you. Bottom line, we're going into the close on a very heavy volume day. The SPY is slightly red. It had gotten green and gotten almost all the way back up to the open did get to the open on Friday. And we're just slightly red with about 15 minutes to go. And we've already done 220 million shares. We're probably going to end up with over 250 million shares. This is a lot of volume. There was no margin calls today because we bounced early enough that there was no additional real margin calls. I'm not saying there was none, but there was nothing like we had the last 2 days. The question is, where do we go from here? We're now in a bear market. The SPY, the Qs, the IWM are in a bear market. I think the Dow hit it too, but I'm not 100% sure. Everything's changed. We're in a different world. This is the areas where if you want to start sniffing around and buying some quality stocks or the ETFs, you can, but I would never buy all of it, right? We're down 20%. Doesn't mean we can't go lower. We can. This could escalate. This could get worse. It could also, we could have found a bottom here. It's hard to say. It's really, I don't know, but 481.90, could that be the bottom? It could be. We don't know. Doesn't mean it's over, but it could be the bottom. We got earnings kicking in on Friday, so there's a lot going on here. There's a lot we can talk about, but the truth of the matter is, you know, options are ridiculously priced right now. The Q is almost green because of the VIX. The VIX hit 60 and is back up here off the lows from this morning and back and holding in this mid 40s to 50 area and is still out of the Bollinger Band. Come on, guys in the room. What does that say? That means it's still a what off environment? Risk off. Risk off environment. With the VIX this high, option prices are 3 to 4 times what they normally should be. And if you buy calls here and the VIX starts to come in, it's going to be very hard for this to work because the IV crush will absolutely kill what's going on the delta. So you need to be closer to the money and you need to be right. A very difficult environment. For me today, I traded futures contracts, not options, future contracts, and TQQQ a bunch of times. Keeping it simple. It was a nice day. It was a nice night last night when the futures opened. It's a nice day here. Nothing has changed. The bond market here, very interesting candle here. Bond market has a very ugly candle. After looking so great, we just undid the last one, two, three, four, five, almost 6 days of action. Rates going back up. Not sure what to make of this. It's a very confusing environment. Bitcoin down but off the lows and back up into the 200-day. What else? Crude remains weak, getting killed today, but back above 60. The financials, nothing special, look like the market. Energy, nothing special. The IWM, I wouldn't buy this with your money right now because of what's going on, but we'll see. And then the SMHs. The SMHs continue to be weak, but they're green. NVIDIA holding up nicely here today is one of the stronger names out there. Amazon had another strong day. Amazon has been one of the stronger names in the market. Netflix also a stronger day, went green and holding it. Apple, not so much. Okay. Meta, not, a little bit better. Microsoft, same thing. Your big tech names are still pretty weak. Same thing with Google. Palantir got halted today because it came down so hard before moving back up. It's also green. Again, head on a swivel here. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Maybe we get some type of reaction from China. Maybe they don't. Maybe they hold. Maybe they just sit there and quietly let the deadline pass and see what Trump does and then do something. So, with that said, I'm going to wish you guys a wonderful night. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you guys live bright and early in the AM.